if anybody is reading this, then I guess my plan didn't work, and I still have poop in my pants, and everybody thinks I'm an idiot. But if I can go back to the beginning of all of this by watching and explaining all the Butterfly movies, of course, then maybe I can save my favorite pair of boxers.
Be gentle with me. Be gentle. I'm post-squirtle.
Oh, it worked. All right, fair warning. I accidentally watched the director's cut of this movie, but there are 3 alternate endings that I will also discuss because I'm the most thorough YouTuber on YouTube. Also the clearest and the cutest. Name a thing. I'm the most of that thing. Most humble, check. Most married, check. Most Asian, well, I don't see race, but probably. Should be fine.
Yeah.
It's too stupid. Like, what does that even mean?
We've been over this 100 times. It's too dangerous.
Anyway, we open on a quote from a person named Chaos Theory, which that's a sick name. I did not know that was an option when I named my kids. Not sure how Chaos came up with the idea that butterfly flaps cause typhoons, but I'll defer to Mr. Theory's expertise on this one. Cut to Ashton Kutcher running and hiding. He writes a note to himself, sort of, dictating it out loud because he's one of those kids who only barely learned how to read and write.
It means I plan.
Today, Junior?
He mentions needing to go back to the beginning to save her, and poof! Now it's 13 years earlier, and his mommy is mechanically inclined and has an unusually high voice.
I'm not so bad, am I?
Ashton, here named Ethan.
Ethan? His name is Evan!
Is like, can dad come to school with me today? And mom is like, no, you idiot. He's...
It's too dangerous for him.
Remember?
No.
But to be fair, Evan
Oh, now I get it right?
himself draws murder pictures and doesn't even remember why. Why does every horror movie with kids have scenes like this? It's like, oh, God forbid kids have a hobby. Did you know that in 8th grade, I drew myself shotgunning the author of my geometry textbook on every single piece of homework? That's actually a true story. And I turned out fine. Ish. And what's funny is I was homeschooled in 8th grade. So my mom had to turn all that in as proof that I did geometry. And they're like, So excited to have him in our high school next year. And actually they test Ethan's brain in the hopes that he's not quite as crazy as his dad. And the doc suggests that, I don't know, Ethan write in journals to try and fill in the blanks of his crap memory.
Just have him write down everything that he does.
Since he keeps blacking out all the time and drawing honestly pretty advanced murder pictures that wouldn't look out of place in a high-end manga. And not even like a horror manga. This could probably go into a run-of-the-mill romance or something. It's pretty high-end. Maybe even a hentai.
Can I keep this drawing?
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah, Daddy!
Good hentai. Boy, is it hot in here?
It is hot in here.
When I asked Evan about the drawing, well,
Soon we will be married, yes?
Very soon, my little cherry blossom.
Would you please?
While they wait for the results to show if he's deeply insane, Ethan has a play date with some other children. You know, because if he's prone to murder or something, he might not get a lot of chances to hang out with kids in the future. That's why Dave always licks as many doorknobs as he can before the results of his COVID test, in case it's positive and he's not allowed to lick any more doorknobs.
What are you doing with that knife?
I'm just goofing.
We think you might be insane, like your father, and need to be locked up. But until we get those results, go play with some kids! Should we not wait to see if he's going to murder the children? Or like...
Kidding? We're gonna have a great time today, right, sport?
Ethan's also excited to have an opportunity to...
See what a real dad is like.
Because apparently real dads wear what has to be a wig and also film, not sure how to say this without being demonetized, but let's say adult content, but starring children. No.
Oh, no.
If this is upsetting to you, buckle up. This movie features, as far as I can tell, almost every single horrible, sad thing that could conceivably happen to a person besides a cute, maybe Asian YouTuber not getting 100,000 subscribers. The movie is bleak, but it's not that bleak.
Calm down, kid. Stand still.
Anyway, the real dad makes some of this, let's say, content in his basement with his daughter and Ethan while his pervert son watches.
This will be our little secret.
Now, Ethan doesn't know how he got here because he blacked out again, which it's a very understandable decision on his brain's part.
How did I get here?
Good shit,
But the dad offers one possibility.
Acting like some damn retard.
Now, call me as crazy as Ethan's dad, but I don't like this dad. I think a crazy dad would be better than this dad.
That's right.
We don't know how this scene resolves, but the doctor has determined that there's nothing wrong with Ethan's brain,
I found no evidence of lesions, hemorrhaging, tumors.
Anal fissures.
other than that he might be a little stressed. And his mom is like,
What kind of stress can a 7-year-old have?
and I mean, I'm only a fake inside joke doctor, but could it be the fact that he's been forced to film adult content? And even without that, his father has been... Those are just two things that are very stressful.
Maybe he has severe coping problems about not having a father.
What? No.
I hope that butterfly makes a typhoon that destroys everything, because this is sad.
It's worth a shot.
So to help with Ethan's out of nowhere, unexplained stress, his mom brings Ethan to visit his insane dad,
His name is Jason.
who instantly and yells about how he has to die. I mean, that should help with his stress.
To relieve his stress.
You're stressed out. Why don't we go visit your insane dad and let him choke you a little bit? Yeah.
Like the good old days.
Cut to 6 years later, and super chill Ethan smokes ciggies now. I'm so glad he found a stress reliever that wasn't just being choked by his dad. He also hangs out with that girl, Kaylee, her brother Tommy, and Lenny, who should keep his mouth shut.
Shut up, lardass.
They decide to have some stress-free fun exploding a mailbox, except, blackout. Lenny's catatonic. Oh my God. And literally nobody will tell Ethan what happened. Thusly, he apparently has no way to find out.
Mom thinks hypnosis might be a good way to remember what...
In fact, a psychologist or something hypnotizes Ethan to help him remember, but there were 3 other children at the incident? Sure, Lenny's mind appears broken, but maybe we should push Kaylee and Tommy a little harder, or like at all, rather than hypnotize this kid until his nose freaking bleeds?
Did it work?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Well, guess we'll never know. Even the news is like, damn.
Police have no leads, no suspects.
Sucked. Except for, I guess, these kids.
Something must have happened.
But they've unfortunately read the Constitution and are pleading the 5th.
Right, guys?
Ugh, we have got to stop teaching that in school. Ethan is still a little interested in what happened because Fortnite hasn't been invented yet, and he ends up doing more detective work than the actual cops, which, fair, but Tommy is real testy about the whole thing.
Will someone tell me already what the hell happened with the mailbox?
He keeps being like, so what happened? There's no way for me to know what happened except if you, Tommy, tell me. And it's like, the news didn't write anything about this. Because I'm just gonna spoil it for you, Dave. A lady and her baby explode to death. This didn't hit the news. There's no way to find out unless one guy tells you. They're like, I don't know, a mailbox blew up. I don't know what the fallout was.
Anyway, a mailbox blew up. Now onto this new burger special.
Yeah. So the best friends who never talk to each other about anything go see the super chill movie for children, Dave Fincher's 7. Even though they're like 14.
Shut up,
Geez, when was the last time you had a cigarette or got choked out by your daddy? You sound stressed. Except, oh right, Kaylee shows that her dad beats her on top of the other stuff. So Ethan awkwardly tells Kaylee,
You really have no clue how beautiful you are, do you? Very smooth.
which pisses Tommy off.
What the are you doing?
So he beats the shit out of some random kid who tripped him. Now call me even crazier, but I don't like this Tommy either.
Shut up,
Lenny is eventually released from the mental hospital or wherever, so Kaylee and Ethan take him on a stress-free walk through the junkyard to where Tommy is setting Ethan's dog on fire. Now, I was wondering if we were gonna get some abuse towards animals. It felt like we were way too focused on child abuse. You gotta diversify that trauma. You don't wanna bore the future therapist. He's like, ugh, okay, you got beaten, you filmed things. You got anything more spicy? Dog fires? Cool.
Go on.
The movie was waffling between this or like self-cannibalism, and I think the movie made the right choice. Ethan tries to stop Tommy, but blacks out and wakes up to his dog fully burned to death.
How long was I out?
Fortunately, all dogs go to heaven. Otherwise, this would have been a sad scene, but as it is, it's like, well, he's no longer suffering, so it's fine. I guess.
Oh, Charlie, I'll miss you.
Well, Ethan's moving out of town. Bye. I'll come back for you, Kaylee, if I remember. And if there's one thing you can count on me, it's my rock solid memory. Hey, why am I in a truck?
Where am I?
Whoops, it's 7 years later and Ethan's in college and his roommate is ironically the lineman from Remember the Titans.
I want you to tell me something about one of your black teammates.
Yeah, bro, let's do this.
It's ironic because like Ethan can't remember shit, Titans or otherwise. To be fair, some of them aren't really worth remembering.
Don't really have a choice.
But that said, it's been 7 years since Ethan's had any blackouts, although I wouldn't be surprised if his roommate Thumper hucking a t-shirt he literally just used to wipe cum off his dick sparked a real nasty one.
Kind of sure, bro.
How long was I out?
If it doesn't, then what's even the point of blackouts? Blackouts are our friends. They defend us from the mistake of accidentally opening Dave's browser history.
Who make decisions that break?
It's like every horrible thing that could happen, including getting cum on your face.
Afton didn't like that scene.
I'm gonna go set her on fire.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Whatever. Let's go celebrate that I haven't blacked out in 7 years, which is kind of a weird anniversary to celebrate, by getting blackout drunk at a bar where Thumper will definitely be mocked for his shitty pool skills. You know, to be fair, they're much worse than his blocking and solving racism skills. He was so good at blocking and solving racism.
Cum rag. Racism.
No racism.
Let's go to work.
It's just so cool that in that movie he stopped all racism forever. Ethan brings a girl back to his room and she's like, read me a passage from one of your journals, because this movie was definitely written by an English major who never stopped dreaming about a world where women are sexually aroused by writing.
Yeah? Well, I guess charisma and eyeliner go a long way.
And Ethan's like, okay, flip, flip, flip. How about this section where my dog was burned to death?
Hearing Crockett make those awful screams.
And she's like, perfect. That is so hot. Just like your dog.
Dog on fire.
Come on.
But interestingly, the reading causes Ethan to travel back to that exact moment in time and remember information that he'd previously blocked or, blacked out through. Which is to say he gets to remember how hard he got clobbered.
You make sure they remember.
So, okay, Ethan can travel back in time to relive his biggest mistakes and failures. That's just called having anxiety, Ethan. It's very common. You're not special. Ethan wakes back up suddenly and his date is entirely unfazed.
So, Don Juan, you pass out on all your dates?
Unless he passed out for 60 to 90 minutes, he definitely wasn't dreaming by the rules of REM sleep. And if he was asleep for that long, why didn't you wake him up, woman?
Dog's on fire.
It's okay. It's just a dream.
Were you robbing them? Were you just passing the time reading more passages about burned up dogs?
Most guys usually tuck porn under their bed.
He passed out in front of you in the middle of reading. It's like, well, I didn't want to wake you. It's like, he might be dying.
Tucks him in, convulsing on the ground.
Nose bleeding.
I would be getting something out of this.
Whatever, this experience inspires Ethan to go back to his hometown to check on Lenny. And after 2 seconds of pretending to do that, Ethan dives into questioning him about the blackout section of the hot dog incident.
See that you're busy, so try to make this quick.
Drop it! I'll see your mother's throat in her sleep!
Hey, that's exactly what Tommy said.
It really happened. Wow.
Well, it could mean that, or it could mean that most of your friends really don't like you, Ethan, and maybe they don't like your mom's throat.
I'm not so bad, am I?
Every time Dave and I go somewhere, somebody comes up to him and says exactly that, but I don't think that necessarily is proof that he could time travel.
Wow, Lenny, time travel is possible.
But Ethan takes it in the more positive way, so he runs back to his journals and earmarks all the parts where he wrote about blackouts. He reads the mailbox passage and travels back to that time to learn that after Lenny plopped the explosive in the mailbox, a lady with a baby went to the mail and received the worst letter of all time. This memory makes Ethan puke, completely ruining Thumper's cunnilingus game. But again, how is this like 7 years after the fact? This is the first time and the only way that he ever actually learns what happened.
Look, I'm really sorry about that.
When Ethan hangs out with his mom later that night, she reveals that Ethan's dad also tried to remember more shit when he was Ethan's age, because he also had blackouts. Then she takes Ethan to see a psychic.
As a goof.
But it's actually very ungoof, as the psychic is like, bitch!
You don't belong here.
And
he has no soul.
And
you were never meant to be.
I'm just goofing.
And I hate your stupid face, and your palms have little bits of poop on them, and my boss's daughter sucked, and if you were my son, I'd cave your skull in with a crystal ball.
Extra $5, she'll spit in your face.
And Ethan laughs it off, but his mom is pretty affected by it, because no mother wants their child to star in my boss's daughter, and as she reveals, she had 2 previous stillbirths, so Ethan was basically a miracle baby, and she hates when people tell her that her miracle baby has no soul and isn't a very strong actor overall.
Am I right? Oh, I don't really know much about the limitations of the handicap.
I don't get it.
Ethan goes back to his hometown again, I think.
Hello, Wisconsin!
To get some of that famous pie, if you know what I mean. It's Kaylee. Kaylee's she's pie. Kaylee tells Ethan that Tommy went to juvie for a while, but I can't imagine why.
Shut up, f***it.
Stop saying that!
Meanwhile, Kaylee emancipated herself at 15, and Ethan's like, whatever, shut up.
What do you want to know, Evan?
Do you remember that really cool movie we made as kids with your dad?
About Robin Hood.
Can you tell me more about that experience from your perspective? And she goes home and kills herself. This makes Ethan sad, apparently, so he writes in a notebook in the wrong direction and wonders,
if I can make scars, do I have the power to heal them?
Okay, calm down, Papa Roach.
Scars remind me.
Time travel is possible.
He fast travels back to Pervert Day.
Best day of the week.
Because I guess Ethan wrote about his adult filming experience, which, okay, I know it's a complicated issue, but I wish he told somebody about what happened instead of just writing it down. He wasn't the only kid being affected by this. I guess this kind of thing happens all the time, but it's sad that he wrote like, I made a pervert movie today. And then never told anyone. It's hard to blame. I'm not going to blame the 7-year-old, but it still sucks.
Paper trail for evidence, though.
Dave's like, I know all about destroying paper trails. That's a paper trail. We gotta get that. No, it's in the movie, Dave. It's not your paper trail.
Dogs aren't the only thing that burn.
But actually, it's fine because Ethan goes back to that time and he calls Kaylee's dad a
bag
like 10 times.
Listen close then, bag.
And tries to convince him with logic not to make pervert videos, and it works.
Sound okay to you, Papa?
This is the equivalent of getting attacked by a shark, but surviving by successfully converting it to veganism. Also, why is he talking like this?
It'll change your daughter from a beautiful child into an empty shell.
Nobody talks like this. Adult Ethan doesn't even talk like this. Must be
one sadistic pup.
He also recommends that the dad beat the shit out of Tommy, which is quite the dick move. But then again, why would the dad even listen to this kid? He doesn't need a life coach telling him how to be a bad person. It all comes naturally to him. But whatever. Hey, it works. And when Ethan goes back to present day, he acquires a gaggle of new painful nose-bleeding memories, and poof, he and Kaylee are now dating, and it's only a little weird.
Yeah, if you call them multiple orgasms, it's weird.
A wet-ass P-word is not meant to have multiple any orgasms.
Where'd you learn those new tricks?
A gynecologist.
Turns out Ethan is a frat boy now.
You frat boy.
And Thumper is no longer his cum-hucking friend, which is, not really a major loss. And in general, Ethan's life seems significantly improved, give or take most of his friends being kind of lame. But it's nothing a little Jimmy Eat World Needle Drop can't solve.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Except, oh shit, Tommy's been let out of jail.
Tommy!
And he's mad at Ethan for plowing his sister, and I guess also telling his pervert dad to beat the shit out of him, which... that's fair.
Come on, that's a compliment.
And so Tommy trashes Ethan's car, which is not nearly as bad as the dog thing, but it still sucks because it took Ethan forever just to find that car.
Dude, there's your car.
And then even worse, he attacks Ethan. But Ethan is apparently much better at street fighting, and he beats Tommy completely to death. And because this movie operates under Con Air court rules, he goes to prison where he's literally sexually assaulted.
My dick, but blood on my knife.
Oh, is that Shakespeare?
Straight up, man.
But it's all okay because his mom brought him some journals. Though several are immediately stolen. And he uses that random drawing memory to give himself Jesus wounds to prove to his religious cellmate that he has Jesus on his side.
It's a miracle. Look, the stigmata, man.
Except if he gave himself hand wounds in the past, that would have always been the case, right? Like, any change he makes would cause him to enter a new reality, and even if 100% of everything else was the same, his cellmate wouldn't be surprised by the scars, because they'd have always been there.
The signs of the Lord, man, they just come out of nowhere.
The past is real.
Also, I'm having trouble believing that Ethan was still connected to the frat boy timeline after stigmataing himself in front of his teacher. I mean, that had to result in several years of counseling, probably even a stint in the mental institution. That's time that he should have been using on flirting with Kaylee and learning how to pop his collar just right.
You are such a goofus.
New boot goofing.
But even if we just accept all that, why does Ethan still make the drawing, which we now know is about him killing people in prison? Why would he do that? Just to match things up? Feels like a weird thing to make sure you still do.
There's no limits.
I don't know. I guess God made an exception this time, so Ethan heads to the white supremacist gang and first proves how racist he is.
Why no kike?
Thank God for that! Because after child abuse, animal cruelty, and self-mutilation, you gotta do racism. You gotta play the hits. And then Ethan offers to suck on their penises.
Should I suck your dick now?
Yes, please.
But actually, it's a ruse. And he stabs them with help from his religious cellmate doing a crusade on their asses, which buys him enough time to grab another journal and travel back to Dog Murder Day yet again.
Best day of the week. Right now, you animals.
You know, Back to the Future gets a lot of flack for using time travel for, let's say, impure, making out with your mommy reasons. But here we have Ashton Kutcher offering to fillet white supremacists so he can go back in time to the time when his dog was burned to death. Making out with a hot mommy is nothing. Dude, I'll suck your dick if you let me go relive the memory of my dog being set on fire. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the classic question. What would you do with a time machine? Suck Hitler's dick.
We need something to cut open the sack.
But this time, Ethan hands Lenny a sharp weapon and tries to logic Tommy into not setting a dog on fire.
If you kill him now, they'll stick you in juvie for sure.
And Tommy is convinced. Well, not so much convinced as stabbed to death by Lenny.
Lenny, no!
But historically, I have never lost an argument where the other person was stabbed to death. So now Ethan wakes back up in his dorm room, except twist!
It's all backwards.
And as you can see, the ass is on the front.
That's right, Tommy's death made him prefer a different side of the room. A butterfly flaps its wings and you start saying, hey, maybe I like my bed on the right side of the room. It's chaos, the theory. Oh my God. Somebody call 911. Things are different. My roommate is getting puss on the other side of the room. The cum hits the other side of my face.
Kinda sure, bro. Kinda sure, bro.
You're gonna open a door. Your roommate's cum slaps the side of your face. That different side of your... Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of cum.
Be gentle with me. Be gentle. I'm post-coital.
Except, whoops, some of Ethan's memories, his new memories, show Kaylee maybe joining a gang, and the doctor is like, your brain is hemorrhaging a lot, but neither of those things really dampen Ethan's spirits in any meaningful way.
That's for the memories to store, Mom.
Thank you, Evan.
Which is why Zen Buddhists love this film. Happy-go-lucky Ethan steals a security badge to visit Lenny, who blames him for that time that he stabbed Tommy, but that's on you, Lenny. I saw the tape.
Play that tape back.
Anyway, Ethan briefly travels back to his choked meeting with his dad and again talks like a crazy person.
I need some fast answers from you if I'm ever gonna fix what I've done.
Which is actually why his dad tried to kill him initially, because Ethan's annoying.
I'll send you a postcard when I made everything perfect again.
Nothing changes as a result of this encounter, so then Ethan goes back to his old hometown for like, I think the third time IRL, and he confronts old Mr. All right, I love that continuity. Ethan asks him, of all people, where Kaylee is, and he's directed to a real crap hole where Kaylee pimps herself out because I guess her face got cut in the junkyard somehow, and also she's sad about her brother being stabbed to death.
Does that make other girls wet?
I hope not.
Oh, you're crying.
No, I'm not. You're being very mean, Kaylee.
Don't give up now, Slick.
And considering how bad things are for her here, is this movie trying to be pro-dog murder? It's like, look, if you let the dog live, you're gonna become a hooker. Fine, then I guess I'll let the dog burn.
Why don't you go back in time and burn everything?
Regardless, we're gonna need to reboot Kaylee again.
When you have an orgasm, your toes go numb.
We can fix that.
Because here's the thing, the frat reality was about as good as it's gonna get. He created that timeline by going back and telling Tommy's dad to beat the shit out of him. But if he just didn't do that part, and or when Tommy shows up, he just doesn't beat him fully to death with a baseball bat, then that's a good reality. That one's fine. You can make new friends. You don't have to be that fratty forever. Also, side note, it's funny to think that if he started dating Kaylee way back when, she would somehow grease him into becoming a shitty frat guy. Like, ostensibly, that's her influence on Ethan, since nothing else really changes. Like, in the original timeline, it's frequently mentioned that he's super smart.
You're the one that up the bell curve on my anthropology final.
So Kaylee actually dumbs him down.
I just thought you should know.
Well, that's kind of sad, actually.
Hurry up, I want a quickie before school.
Never mind. Totally worth it.
Lay off the blow.
Whatever. For now, Ethan goes back to Mailbox Explosion Day.
Best day of the week.
But here, all he manages to do is explode himself. Fast forward to college, and Lenny is his roommate, which is great, and Kaylee is alive, also great. But also they're banging each other, and also Ethan has no arms.
What the f is this?
Both bad.
Holy shit. Yeah. Chaos Theory's like, f you specifically.
Yeah. Tommy is nice, though.
Hey, man.
But Ethan is very much not an inspiring person with a disability, and it doesn't help that Kaylee keeps doing shit like this.
Want a granola bar? Here's.
What the f is this?
It's like, damn it, Kaylee, he's at least due a Snickers bar at this point.
You're not you when your
Arm's been blown off by propane.
Ethan tries to confess his love for Kaylee, but she's like, yeah, I'm into Lenny now. So he tries to drown himself in the bathtub. But Tommy saves him, and he can't stop him because he's got no arms. And he takes Ethan to go see his mom, who's now dying of cancer. Because once Ethan got his arms blown off, she started pounding ciggies to relax. I guess she couldn't find any daddies nearby to give her a choke to relieve her stress instead. Ethan has a revelation about not ever writing the journal entry about the child film because I guess...
No arms. I never wrote it.
Okay, A, I'm pretty sure people without arms can still find ways to write things, you idiot. And B, for some reason I don't fully understand, this means Ethan can go back to Pervert Day,
Best day of the week.
through one of the entries he did still write, so he does write some things. But he travels back to that time, but all he manages to do is once again say...
Bag.
Because...
Amazing that word never fails to make an impression with you.
Oh, and also he explodes Kaylee. So now he's in the mental hospital, and now...
There are no journals. There never were.
But do they have to be written when he was a kid? If he still has the memories, why not just write them down now and then travel back? I don't know. But it also doesn't matter because Ethan realizes he can use home movies to travel back in time. And Ethan watches a video of his own birth, and he poofs into his mom's uterus and strangles himself with the umbilical cord. Woo!
Suffocation, no breathing.
The problem with any horror or horror adjacent movie is it's hard to continue to escalate throughout the whole film.
Right. Yeah,
but they honestly, he actually manages it.
They did it.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but how does it work if you have a baby brain?
I think he's got the same brain.
So you have the same brain, but you're in the baby's body?
I mean, it's hard to say because his brain wouldn't fit in there.
Not again!
But also, this implies that both of Ethan's other still siblings did the exact same thing that he did, which is horrifying. And also, it means that their dad was both too much of a pussy to do this himself.
Suicide is badass.
No.
Oh, and also their grandfather, since apparently he was also crazy. We randomly learned earlier.
My grandfather went crazy too?
But also, wouldn't you suspect after the second kid intentionally strangled themselves to death with the umbilical cord, that maybe this is somehow connected to your ability to time travel and ruin everybody's lives? But no, just keep raw dogging away like nothing matters.
All that murdering and f***ing.
I was praying this curse would have ended with me.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Thankfully, the baby suicide works because Kaylee and Tommy go to live with their hot mommy instead of staying with their dad, which by the way, Kaylee only ever stayed with him to be close to Ethan. And then Ethan's mom marries somebody else and has a baby that doesn't strangle itself.
No suffocation.
And Lenny grows up to be not an idiot and Tommy is nice and Kaylee marries some unrelated dude and it's like, okay, Donnie Darko, calm down. More like butt effect.
Not again!
But wait, that was just the director's cut ending. In the theatrical version, basically all the same stuff still happens, but all Ethan has to do, instead of strangling himself in utero, is tell Kaylee,
I hate you, and if you ever come near me again, I'll kill you and your whole damn family.
Which has a similar effect, except instead of getting married, Kaylee becomes a hot business chick, and she walks by hot business Ethan without recognizing him. Great. Now she has amnesia. And now Ethan's gotta go fix that. Or was he just not fratty enough for her? I can see why the director disliked this ending. But wait! There's another ending that's basically exactly the same, except Kaylee stops and Ethan invites her to coffee. In his pants, probably.
I'd love to get a couple.
Except wait, for one more time, there's another ending because there's yet another ending where they don't talk. But Ethan follows her like a stalker, leaving things a little more open-ended. But I like to imagine that he catches up to her, they chat, and then everybody in the world immediately dies of ass cancer because butterfly wings.
Not again!
And actually, why do Ethan's actions basically never affect anything except like 5 people? His butterfly wings are weak as shit, man. Quick poll for the Daves. What other horrible thing should have happened to Ethan?
Somebody overwrites his Crash Bandicoot save on his PlayStation.
Go back! I gotta go back! He blacks out. Ah!
The damage is irreparable.
Okay, I think I got it. All I need to do is read from my childhood diary that I have on me at all time, and I'll go back to a time before I pooped my pants, and I'll make everything better. Okay, December 19th, 2007. I had a great day because I'm super cool and everybody loves me and I never have any problems at all. Oh God, I think I did something wrong. What kind of dorm room is this? Why do I have a princess mouse pad? Vote for Pedro. What year is it? I'm just gonna watch another one.
Please tell me that you locked down the strippers. Strippers.
The opening credits are flickering, which is a major upgrade from the first movie. Then we see Nick here, basically passed out in front of a fire, presumably because he's so bored by his 3 friends' inane conversation that involves neither GameCube games nor Star Wars novelizations from the early aughts. And therefore it's like a pointless conversation.
Yeah, it really is.
Vote for Pedro. That's the era I'm in. Those were all the 3 coolest things in this era that I'm in, where I blew my arms off.
So do you guys feel like you're the same as you were back then?
That said, when Nick does engage, it's merely to discuss closing accounts and other business shits with Trevor.
If we just close a couple of our own accounts, you know how huge that could be for us?
Honestly, I have no idea.
So it's not like he's the most interesting person in the world himself. If you want to be interesting, you should try chatting with the internet about pervert leprechauns or pervert interdimensional demons or pervert perverts.
Okay, Daddy, I'm ready for the juice. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, it's Julia's 24th birthday.
Wow. I'm impressed that you even remember that.
I don't. I'm just paying attention to the movie.
Yay!
Okay, quick. Everybody say an obscure brand of coconut balls.
Everybody say Chingus.
Chingus!
Which sounds like a slur, but I think it's coconut balls. All right, let's do some drugs.
My favorite?
We have fun here. We're fun people.
It's drugs.
Just regular 24-year-old fun havers. Hey, Julie, why don't you get blindfolded so we can have even more fun somewhere else?
You going to take advantage of me?
Well, only in the sense that I'm going to take you to a random rock and sit your ass right on down. It's called consensual non-consent blindfolding and rock sitting. And it is, oh my God, is it kinky.
Look. Gross, dude.
It's not my thing.
Here's a necklace. Also, I don't think you should get your master's in photography because I'm gonna be rich soon. Oh, speaking of mammon.
It's work.
Nick now must away to a random ass meeting he didn't know about, apparently. This stops Julie from saying some secret thing to Nick that he won't learn about until the end of the movie, but is obviously 100% an unplanned pregnancy, which is the butterfly effect of Nick hating condoms.
Oh, shit.
You know what they say is a butterfly doesn't wear a condom on one side of the world, and then there's a tsunami of more butterflies?
Okay.
So now they're in the car. And okay, maybe Julie should get her master's in photography. Her photos suck. And that makes God angry, so he pops their tire. And they spin around like a million times, and actually they're completely fine. Woohoo! I'd wipe my brow, but I don't have arms. Oh, never mind, they're not fine. Then the windshield blood, like the screenplay, becomes a number 2, which, oh, sick. Blood doesn't usually do that. Nick wakes up in the hospital, but he's real twitchy.
He gets nightmares sometimes.
Oh, don't we all? I'm living through one right now.
Right now.
Apparently, Nick was the only survivor, and he's just so sad, wandering around his apartment, looking at an old Julie photo of a butt, which has won the Pulitzer for photography 10 years running. Oh, I miss Julie. Every time I see that big photo of a butt, I'm like, oh. You remember when Julie used to take pictures of butts? Oh my God, do you think that Nick's going to travel into a butt memory? That'd be wild, but no.
I got some extra room
in my own butt. What he does do is scan a piece of paper with the copier lid fully open. Doesn't that give you instant brain cancer or turn your eyeballs into sightless chinkuses? You know, the obscure brand of coconut balls. You know what I mean.
don't even like you saying that.
I know, I'm not. It's not a swear or a slur. I mean, it's an obscure brand of coconut balls. Okay. It is. I think we're gonna have to make some edits if it's not. I'm sorry. I thought Jenkins was an obscure brand of coconut balls. I was wrong. I've been informed, but now I'm listening.
Everybody say listen to win.
Whatever, I don't know. But it's a year later and Nick's having problems with his boss, largely because his work presentations are terrible.
Snap a couple of JPEGs.
He's all like, our cell phone technology allows you to, I can't look at photos, my nose is bleeding, and he passes out on the floor.
Is he having a seizure or what?
Anyway, do you guys want to give us $3 million?
I'm so sorry.
His other boss sends Nick home for a week to stop bleeding out his nose, which seems like probably more time than he needs, but it was a pretty bad nosebleed. Well bored, he charges Julie's old digital camera, maybe looking for more butt photos. I don't know what he's looking for, but he is, regardless, loving it. But then he is not loving it. But then he looks so hard that he travels back to that moment. And unlike the first movie, he says the exact same dumbass things he said back then.
You're right. I don't really need this job anyway.
And he sits just as dumbassedly in the moment, allowing it to play out exactly the same dumbass way, except...
Put your seatbelt on.
Bro, hit the damn brakes! Pull over! Throw an anchor out the window! Deploy the rear parachute! Activate the road magnet! Do anything! Too late. But actually it's fine because he manages to restart the car before they're hit by the truck. Well, he's still, but it's fine. It's a soft tree. He's like, I think if you put on your seatbelt when we were slammed by that semi truck at 4,000 miles an hour, the problem was we weren't wearing seatbelts.
I think I'm just gonna speed up because
honestly, yeah, maybe if I hit it harder, maybe I'll go through the truck. So he wakes back up in his apartment, but things are different. For example, instead of a butt photo, he has a titty photo that has won the Pulitzer for 20 years running. Oh my God, everything's changed. She's like, I got my master's in photography and this is what I came up with. And they're like, oh my God. Honestly, we're just gonna give you a doctorate.
Oh, brave.
What's next? Dong? No, but maybe.
Oh, baby. It's okay.
Also, Julie is still alive, and she calls him Pumpkin. Ugh, one step forward, one step back. I mean, yeah, Julie's alive, but at what cost? Pumpkin. The cost is Pumpkin. Too high a cost.
What did it cost?
Pumpkin.
Oh,
Nick, interestingly, does not have any new memories because they couldn't afford the on-screen nosebleed budget. He takes her out for her birthday and tells her everything that happened, but she finds that boring.
You're right.
The other two friends show up and Trevor is like,
please tell me that you locked down the strippers.
For his bachelor party, presumably.
Of course I did.
Dumbass.
But then Nick sucks Julie's boobs to kill some runtime. I hope they got a few pics, because I mean, next year's Pulitzer, it's coming up. The next day, he Yahoo searches dreams and PTSD and all sorts of stuff to see if he has schizophrenia, and he stumbles upon Ethan's dad, which like, oh my God, it's all connected like a butterfly's web. Sorry, I just don't really understand what a butterfly effect is.
Oh, busted. Looking at porn again.
No, I'm watching The Butterfly Effect too. It's a very serious art movie. It's French, I think. The boob represents the inevitability of that. Just watching a guy suck boob and look at booby pictures, but it's art. Company meeting.
Conference room, 5 minutes.
Trevor is fired for boofing an account.
I think I can already feel his foot up my ass.
But Nick's like, I think you boofed the account, my mean boss named Bristol.
You were supposed to close the RSB deal, not Trevor.
But Bristol is like, oh yeah, well boof this.
Congratulations, Nick. You're fired too.
But then Nick goes home to boof his relationship with Julie.
Always the salesman, aren't you?
He just know. He's thinking he wished he hadn't told her to put on that seatbelt and that she'd had another drink and then drove herself home and that there was ice on all the roads and that she'd think of him
when you forget your seatbelt and again when your head goes through the windshield.
Random thought. Do you think they'll ever make a Yesterday movie, but instead of the Beatles, it's brand new so we can listen to those songs again without having to remember how problematic their lead singer was? It's a good thing that the Beatles never had that problem.
Yes.
I don't know. But Nick looks at a random Christmas photo and poofs back there because I guess that's how he's gonna deal with every slight inconvenience in his life now. I mean, to be fair, if I had some amazing ability like access to a jetpack, I'd use it all the time. My turn to do the dishes, jetpack. Oh, a cop caught me jaywalking? Jordan away. Collection agency comes to take away my jetpack? Uh-oh, look at the time, it's jetpack o'clock. So I get it. If I was Nick, I'd take a photo of myself 5 minutes before I ordered takeout just in case they screw something up so I could jump back there. But also, if we're being honest, I'd probably try and jump right into that butt or that boob. I mean, let's really explore what we could do with these photos. Come on. Booyah! But no. And it turns out that this photo was a Christmas party like 10 months ago or something. And because Nick hates Bristol because of the boofing, he walks over to him and chucks wine all over his dick. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! Then Nick sneaks into Bristol's office and steals information on the account that he landed, or will land, I guess, in the future, that got him promoted over Nick. So now, poof!
No way.
He's in a nice office at work. Turns out he is now the vice president.
I'm the vice president.
And Bristol is just the senior analyst of like limp dick wine. Am I right?
Yeah, of course. I'm not trying to make excuses.
Oops, hold on, headache. But hey, why is this the thing that Nick decides to use his powers for? Like, bro, just take a photo in the morning of a lotto drawing and go back to purchase a winning ticket? You're going back in time just to give yourself more work responsibilities?
It's a mess.
Like going back for titty sucking, I can respect, but not this.
Well, I hear the weather's nice there.
Yeah, I guess.
Still, he has a cool car and he has a new apartment that he thinks is better, but it's definitely smaller and worse. Man, a lot's happened in the last 10 months. He crushes it at a client dinner later that night and then crushes puss in the bathroom because, oh yeah, I guess he's dating his boss's daughter now.
You know that's the part that got me hot.
For a second, he's like, wait, I love Julie.
When has that ever stopped you before?
Never mind, who the hell's Julie? Daddy's about to bust out his signature boob sucking moves. Dirtbag status confirmed.
And then I seal the deal. I do my move, I do the...
If you have a skill, use it.
Yeah, Nick. Thanks for coming.
Is this a sex thing?
I'm just gonna say that the consequences for time traveling this time around are a lot less significant. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you become rich and have to suck a different couple boobies? God, it's like you can't get it right. Ethan with his burned dog, shredded butthole, no arms, suicided girlfriend, murder guilt, and desire to strangle himself in utero would never understand what you've been through.
What the f*** is this?
Oh my God, my nose itches, but I can't wipe it. Ah! Butterfly effect!
Yeah. It's
itchy.
Except, oh wait, there's more! Because Trevor is like, my guy, that investor we got $250,000 from, wants his money back, which I'm not sure it works that way, but I'm not a money doctor, so I'll just go with this for now. Oh, and also he totally punched me in the face, which I think that part is I'm 95% sure that part is illegal. But Nick's like, no problem. And he goes to talk to his boss.
Ron, how's it going, man?
What?
It turns out the company is broke because Nick didn't land the special deal. He just got promoted because I guess people need to get promoted. Does it work the same with his new girlfriend too? Is she like, I don't like you, but people need to suck boob. And I have boob.
Sorry for all the techno babble.
The boss is like, bro, we can't just give an investor back $250,000.
We have contracts that specify how and when people get paid back.
Okay, well, filibuster.
Which makes a lot of sense. And also, this deal ostensibly had to have closed within the last 10 months, right? Like, how impatient is this asshole? And also, what sort of legitimate investor punches people in the face about their investments?
Malcolm, from the club.
So go back to the club.
Also, $250,000? That's the punching/bankruptcy amount we're dealing with? Again, lotto ticket, you idiot. Powerball starts at $20 million. Why are you dealing with this? You don't have to deal with this.
Yeah, well, his mistake.
Whatever. Nick heads to this apparently real investors club where he runs into Julie taking photos of models, just kind of, I guess, doing a fashion show, but it's right in the middle of a crowded club. And now Nick is in the background of like half these shots. You guys doing a photo shoot? Are you guys doing a photo shoot?
Yeah, at a club. I'm shooting the fashion show.
His eyes are closed.
Yeah, he's like, it's like all these sexy women, and he's like, did they double book
the club?
Well, that's cool.
Julie's now dating a guy who is better at getting her photography job connections.
Hey, baby.
At probably boob sucking, although it's hard to beat Nick. I've seen Nick in action, let me tell you. 2 for 2. Well, 2 for 4? Wait, how many boobs? There's 4 boobs, but only 2 encounters. Do we rate him per boob or per encounter?
Sure.
Nick? No.
And again, this all seems horrible, I guess, but really, Nick just needs to get more creative about which photos he uses to time travel and or get more creative with his resume. Get a different job, dude. The company sucks. People get punched there. Go work for Google. Yeah, you'll be destroying the world, but they have a smoothie and cereal bar.
Well, that's cool.
Why does he like this company so much? They're broke. Anyway, he meets Malcolm, the legitimate investor.
Malcolm, I assume.
Who is just like my kids.
Band-Aids. I love Band-Aids.
Oh, my kids can't get enough of Band-Aids. Nick should start a Band-Aid startup. My kids would give him $250,000 of business in like 5 months. Join my Patreon to help keep my kids in the Band-Aid rich lifestyle they've grown accustomed to. Every day I leave this office and they have another Band-Aid and they're like, "It was horrible, Daddy. A horrible accident. I needed a Band-Aid." And I take it off and I'm like, "You're cured." And they're like, "To be safe, let's put 4 more Band-Aids on this completely perfect skin."
I like the idea of a preemptive Band-Aid. That's a butterfly effect thought process.
But again, Malcolm is like, I have not seen a return on my investment, but it's been such a short amount of time. 10 years ago, I invested all my life savings into inflatable kettles. Like you could put them in your pocket and you can make tea whenever you want. And I'm sure that the guy behind the Walmart is gonna get back to me any day with the prototype.
Tea for dong.
We call it Chinese rocket fuel.
And where did they even find this dude? Like, where did they find Malcolm? I don't know. But Nick plays ball and offers Malcolm 10% of his money back via personal check. And Malcolm is like, "Thanks." And then he murders Trevor. Which seems like maybe he wasn't that thankful.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Also, friggin' what? How can they possibly get away with that? There's a contract. This isn't some under-the-table loan shark deal. Just cheat on your taxes or lay off employees, even if they're outperforming expectations, like a regular rich dude.
Good luck.
It's like such a small amount of money to be murdering people over. Like, it's a lot of money. If I lent you $250,000, I would be very much in debt and I would have to kill you. But if you're like a mafia guy, but also, again, the boss literally says it's in the contract. You're not going to get paid back in 10 months. So there's a trail.
You're a businessman. You know how the whole thing works. Does he, though?
I don't know what's going on, but Nick runs away and the legitimate investors just start blasted in the crowded club.
No! What?
And legit or criminal businessmen, I feel like legal issues arising from this are gonna cost more than $250,000, even just the repairs of the club. Worst of all, Julie gets shot.
No, Julie!
I'm as mad as hell!
And Nick tries to escape back in time with a boob-sucking photo, literally, from the other night, which I get, but like, stay focused, Nick.
Oh, mommy!
Ah, too late, he's clobbered. And I mean, hey, he wakes up getting sucked real good by some dude.
I was hoping that would wake you up.
Because this guy is Malcolm's work associate and
I own half your ass.
Okay, I would really like to read this contract.
Don't you get it?
No, I don't at all.
Relax, you're enjoying it.
Why are you blowing a dude who owes you money? What's his next punishment? You clean his whole house? I don't even want to know what you do to guys who snitch on you to the cops. You would give them like fellatio and breakfast in bed? Side note, Nick has a tramp stamp, which I guess this guy now owns half of. Thrown down the stairs. All right, pay me right now. Or I'm gonna blow you so good, dude.
I'm gonna suck your dick. You're gonna want to pay.
Yeah, it's like, I guess. Cut to Nick casually chatting with his mommy, who reveals that Nick's dad killed himself.
Why would you keep that from me?
Oh my God, sweetie, I totally forgot.
How did you escape the gay sex dungeon? I don't think this movie is too worried about explaining everything.
You need to see a doctor.
That night, he invites Trevor's girlfriend to a bar and demands that she bring a photo from the birthday day way back when. And he's like,
I'd do anything for all you guys.
Which, I mean, I guess. Obviously, he travels back there, but I really feel like the scene would hit harder if he yelled, "It's butterfly time!"
I'm a beautiful butterfly!
But he doesn't. This movie's so lame.
I'm John Butterfly, and I'm about to butterfly your ass so hard.
Where is this coming from?
So, okay, now they're back at their spot. And Julia is again like, "Hey, I've got something to tell you." And again,
Nick, I want to tell you something.
Me first.
Shut up, lardass.
Nick cuts her off and just breaks up with her.
What?
I know that it sounds strange, but trust me, it's for the best.
Instead of just not driving with her anywhere, all he has to do is delay for like 10 seconds. Like, it's the one truck at the one moment. It's not that hard to avoid.
Yeah, have a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, you're good.
Crunchitize me, Kevin.
Gross, dude.
But anyway, Julie's like, "Twist."
Nick, I'm pregnant.
Wait, what?
And he has nothing to say to this. And I mean, for all we know, the baby is Nick, and it's about to strangle itself with its umbilical cord, so you don't know. But Julie steals the car, so Nick steals a different car to chase after her, and it's hard to explain what happens next. But basically, Nick gets in the left lane to scream at Julie, to like tell her to pull over. But they're, I think, somehow behind the truck that ran into them initially. And anyway, a car appears in Nick's lane, and he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna kill myself to save everybody." And he drives off a cliff. But he does also by pulling in front of Julie, who is currently in zero danger. She's actually tailgating the danger. And could he not just slow down and pull behind Julie, or just merge in front of Julie, since there's clearly a car's worth of room between them, and she's paying plenty of attention to you anyway, and she would notice if you pulled over? There are options here, dim diesel. But no, he would do anything for these guys.
I'd do anything for all you guys.
But I won't do that.
I'm just gonna use my arms for this because I have to explain it. It's like, as far as I can tell, the truck that hits them is in front of them now, which means they're safe. If it's going a different direction, you're already fine. It's not gonna hit you, it's going the other way. But even still, he pulls up beside her in a non-passing lane and is like, stop the car. And she won't do it, whatever. And then a car comes into his lane and he decides, rather than pull behind her, which is what everybody would do, or alternatively, pull in front of her, because there's obviously a car's length worth of room, he just kind of guns it in the gap and shoots off a cliff. A lot of ways that could have gone different.
You gotta be kidding.
Julie!
And I will say, all of this really sucks for the owners of that Jeep. I hope they didn't have anything valuable in the trunk. He just like stole a Jeep and drove it off the cliff to his gory death. People are like, what? Hey!
Hey, man. Hey, you like my car?
I'm gonna wreck it!
All right, fast forward a bit, and Julie's finally getting her master's.
I've got class in a half hour.
And she's pooped out a baby. And it turns out little Nicky has his father's, let's say, gift. Not for sucking boobs, though. I mean, it's a baby, so I'm sure it does that too.
That's right.
I think what the movie means is that he has the gift of time traveling through photos. But I guess we need to watch another movie to find out.
I could time travel through photos. I only have photos of bazongas.
That's right, Nicky.
All right, maybe if I just look at a photo, I can get back to a time before I pooped my pants near a campfire and exploded my arms off. Hey Siri, show me boob photo.
Whipped cream on that sweet little ass of yours.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just keep going. Playground, knitting, happy music?
Come on.
Are we finally gonna get one of these movies about butterflies?
No.
Oh, okay. Some dude in the bushes watches this mommy and bloodthirsty son talk a big game about beating the shit out of other children.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him bleed. I'm gonna make him cry.
Jackie Chan.
And yet, when a mugger shows up, this child does nothing? Pathetic. Terrible moves. Jackie Chan. My kid would helicopter kick this guy straight into next week. Then my other kid would be waiting for them with an elbow drop. And then my third kid would explain the entire plot of the Hellraiser movies to him until he died. We're very good at time-dimensional kicking the ass.
Well, show me your moves, Jackie Chan.
The bushes guy checks his watch and then poof, wakes up in an icy bathtub with electrodes all over him and a lady that's watching his brain, you know, just in case.
Oh, thanks, Jenna.
And his kidneys weirdly seem to all be in place. That's not my experience usually when it comes to waking up in ice baths. But anyway, the guy Sam heads down to the police station and points out the mommy masher from a lineup, and it's revealed that everybody thinks Sam's some kind of psychic, almost exactly like the plot of Psych if Sean wasn't any good at deduction or acting, but apparently could time travel.
I died without knowing, love. Will you be my friend?
How did you know that?
That's the psychic.
It is almost exactly the basic plot of a script I've been messing around with for the last like 8 years. You remember reading that, Dave?
They went into the future and stole it?
Holy shit.
It was a hit.
So the basic plot of my movie, the government invents a way to time travel. And initially what they do is they try and jump back in time. The first thing they try to do is kill Hitler, but because of, you know, time loops and shit, they can't. So there's a bunch of shots of like, they try and snipe Hitler, but like a bird flies and kills the bullet, or they throw a grenade, but it's a dud or whatever. So you can't change time. But they realize you can jump up to 3 days into the future. So what they do is they jump into the future, they see a crime that happens, and they go back to the present and they report that crime. And so as the crime happens, they get arrested immediately because they have enough information.
Proactive time travel.
Proactive time travel. This is like that, except he's traveling back in time to witness a crime so that we can catch the guy after the fact. It's different, but the idea that you would travel in time solely to get information to use in the present to like solve crimes is very similar. If I'd known this was happening, I would have strangled the Butterfly Effect 3 Revelations in its shitty little crib. Though I will say, I guess it's reassuring to know that if I ever finish my script, it'll probably be a complete failure like this film.
Real psychics know that kind of
But still, could be worse. I could be forced to write a Hellraiser at some point.
I do anything else? Kind of like kill a pig or something?
Ew, dude, that's gross. That's disgusting. No.
Honestly, half the scripts that are made get turned into Hellraisers, whether they have anything to do with Hellraiser or not. One day I'm gonna wake up and like my Sharknado video is gonna be a Hellraiser. Like, they got to me even on YouTube. This time, Pinhead just wants to talk about the Sharknado films, 1 through 6.
Because there's a pleasure in pain.
Yeah, there's pleasure and pain in watching all the Sharknados.
Your suffering will be legendary.
Yeah.
But whatever. Sam heads to his sister's apartment, which he pays for,
About as sweet as pumpkin pie.
to get hit on by her landlord.
With some whipped cream on that sweet little ass of yours.
And, okay, his sister is the girl from the tub experiments, which, that's some foreplay shadowing. Foreshadowing foreplay.
She drops the D-bomb.
Her name is Jenna, and she's a little sad and a little bit crazy and a little bit annoyed that Sam never talks to her.
What happened in the fire?
Like how he saved her with a ladder from the outside. How'd he do that? And Sam, like the screenwriter, cannot give a satisfactory answer.
Yeah.
So like Dave, when I ask him why there are so many dead pigeons on my porch, Sam just insinuates that she should just be grateful and drop it. Dave's always like, it doesn't matter how the pigeons got on the porch. Just be grateful that the pigeons are on the porch. I'm like, I don't want pigeons. And he's like, yes, you do.
Yes, you do. I love you.
What are we in the 3rd grade?
Then Sam angrily storms off with his sweet pumpkin buttocks creaming in the wind. At his apartment, because Sam is as dumb as Nick and he's still renting instead of time gambling, a girl shows up and is like, Hug, don't you recognize me? I'm your old girlfriend's sister. You know, Rebecca, the one who died. Anyway, I'm in town because
They're executing Lonnie on Friday.
you know, Rebecca's next boyfriend.
Rebecca was cheating on you.
Did you not know that?
I know this hurts.
But here's the kicker, Sam. I found Rebecca's diary that strongly suggests that Lonnie didn't murder her. Like, I read through the whole thing, and nowhere did I find any mentions of her wanting to be killed by her boyfriend. This is what lawyers call a smoking gun. Oh, also, I heard you're psychic now, and can I hire you to find the real killer? And Sam was like, wow. That was an exposition overload. I'm gonna refuse this call to adventure for a few minutes so I can collect my thoughts.
I can't, Elizabeth.
Why?
I'm so confused.
Woman just like kicks down the door and is like, here's everything you know about your past, and also what's happening now. He's like, what? Sorry. Who did I date? Who was her next boyfriend? Did he or did he not kill her? They think he did, but you think no? Okay.
So, tell me about this dead girl.
Sure thing, chubby dude at a bar. You already clearly know everything about how jumping back in time works, and you've apparently trained Sam in jumping, even though you yourself are apparently unable to do it.
There's 2 big rules. You never jump back to alter your own past, and you never jump unsupervised.
Now, why would I know that?
And the chubby guy's like, furthermore, hey, like, you remember how you saved your sister from the fire so that your parents died instead of her?
Your sister dies in a fire. You jump back thinking you can save her, and you do. But what you didn't expect was that your parents were going to die instead.
Why are you telling me this?
Oh, and also, do you remember?
You nearly fried your brain. You can't handle that many overlaps. It'll drive you crazy.
I can't believe you forgot it.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why everybody is always telling you all these things you probably already know, but maybe you should blow off some steam by blowing the bartender. Until you remember your dead girlfriend, of course, and you get too sad to pound.
Are you gay?
No, worse. He's troubled.
You chose right now to be troubled? You would...
I can introduce you to my friend Brendan. He's gay too.
Great.
Yeah. Anyway, the bartender leaves, so Sam reads his dead girlfriend's diary off of his wet, naked dick. I mean, seriously, he doesn't even put on underwear. He just slaps that thing on his hog like it's a coffee table and is like, what can we learn? Never mind, reading sucks. And I just got a paper cut on my junk. I'm gonna go visit Lonnie in prison. Maybe Sam can offer to help Lonnie in some nebulous way.
You killed her, and I've been locked in here for 10 years. It's unfair.
Huh, okay, well, Lonnie's not into it, I guess, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to help. Hey, Dave, what are your 3 favorite things?
Homicide, rape, vehicular manslaughter.
Oh, I meant like for lunch later. Although that last one is still possible if you get drive-through.
So what's on the menu tonight?
Anyway, in the movie, Sam climbs into another ice bath because this movie is mostly about Sam inflicting a lot of punishment onto his penis.
I can do this here the safe way, or I can do it at home by myself.
And apparently all Sam needs to do to travel back in time is think of a date and time.
Saturday night, 49:01 breakfast.
That is shockingly easy compared to the other movies. I mean, between this and the photo thing in the last one, how bad did Ethan and his dad suck at this? Ethan's out here blowing his arms off while Nick and Sam are constantly getting their hands on
big-ass titties.
It's an embarrassment of boobies.
Not fair.
But this also feels kind of dangerous. Like, the human mind wanders. What if he was watching the 2000 underrated masterpiece, The Patriot, and then he suddenly found himself in colonial America? He'd probably get burned as a witch.
What are you geeks looking at?
Sam goes to the past, to the night Rebecca died, and he runs into Rebecca's sister and he's like, you gotta get in the car. It's dangerous.
Get in the car. Okay.
So she does, and wow, kidnappings used to be way easier than they are now. And Sam sneaks inside the house, except whoops, Rebecca's already dead. And so now the sister is also dead. Sam's chances of scoring with either of them, you guessed it, dead. Sam wakes up next to an adorable little puddle of puke, his puke, hopefully, and a roommate who rents his couch.
I rent out my couch?
We gotta go back.
This new future is dark, and it's as dark as our present, basically. He's no longer a police psychic, but rather a
Suspect in the Brown murder 10 years ago, but now he's obsessed with the case.
that the cops sometimes just look at their files.
This is the last time.
Isn't that like illegal? I don't know, but apparently the one murder has grown into a whole serial killing spree. But apparently the killer isn't Lonnie, because he's a lawyer now, and lawyers never break the law. That's the rule. It'd be like a fireman arsonist, or a politician who doesn't care about people. That's just a crazy idea.
Sir, you can't go in there. Sir, you can't go in there. Can't go in there.
Filibuster.
Sam does indeed go in there, and Sam now does think Lonnie did it for some reason, even though we all agreed he didn't do it in the first timeline either, right? Like, why would he do it now? And I'm starting to question the accuracy of those previous cases he solved for the police. Seems like an idiot.
Let's just say your name's been added back to the suspect pool.
But Lonnie is like, actually, I think you did the murders.
Did you kill him, Sam?
He just damn Uno reverses him. Actually, I'm rubber and you're glue and you're the serial killer. Oh. Damn it. That's the type of shit they teach you at Harvard Law. Also, I, Lonnie, am in a wheelchair because you got me drunk once, and while you took a cab, I drank and drove.
Hey, Lonnie, let's get together.
And then I drink and drive.
That's your fault.
You get a cab that night.
It's your fault for doing the responsible thing for yourself, but not helicopter kicking me in the face and forcing me into a cab at gunpoint. You dick.
Sorry.
Sam finds his chubby friend again, who is like, wow, you must have changed the timeline.
When I specifically asked you not to?
I spent years teaching you to use your gift.
Right, but how?
How exactly did this guy teach him how to use his gift? If he himself can't time travel, how exactly does he teach somebody else how to do it? It's not like he could rent the previous crappy movies and give play-by-plays. I'm not gonna try to teach Dave how to swallow an entire meatball sub in a single gulp. I literally cannot physically do it. That's Dave's gift.
Sorry.
But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna travel back to victim number 3, figure out who the serial killer is, and then turn them in so the murders drop from 10 to 3. I mean, that's like a 70% success rate. That's like a C-. That ain't bad.
Lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
No altering the timeline.
You can't go back to save Rebecca or tell Lonnie to take a cab because Lonnie is a dick. And also your brain might explode. Maybe.
Well, wait, what about Elizabeth?
Oh, no,
I think so.
Stop.
This is a foolproof plan.
Thought you were going to say sexy. Hey, that's okay.
I mean, sure. Yeah, it's also a sexy plan. But it's not sexy enough for Jenna.
I'm not helping you this time.
So Sam tubs himself, which is probably bad, although I'll just save you a lot of worry and let you know that, just like in every previous movie, there are no actual physical repercussions for time traveling. Yes, you might blow your arms off, or shred your butthole, or suck on a new person's boobs, or you might join a frat and then they make you like drink upside down, you know, or like boof some stuff. But mentally, you'll still be effectively the same. Now, watching these movies will almost certainly cause your brain to hemorrhage out of your nose while trying to give you new memories of having done something better with your time than watching these freaking 3 butterfly effect movies in a row.
Beyond the shadow of a freaking doubt.
And also, if you do try to watch these movies, you might black out. But that's why I made this video, to save your brain. You're welcome. Oh, hold on. Sam breaks into victim number 3's apartment and immediately falls in love because she has some specific kind of alcohol.
Jesus. She's my soulmate.
He hides in a closet and watches her get sexually assaulted. Play sexually assaulted by her boyfriend.
I didn't even say the safe word.
Who just isn't that into it.
I shouldn't enjoy raping you. That's crazy.
Yes, but also the boyfriend discovers Sam and punches the hell out of his shoulder.
I'm the pervert.
That's actually an advanced move targeting the human body's secondary brain housed in the shoulder. I remember learning that in med school, although now I'm wondering if that's a false memory that was created by watching these shit-ass movies. Oh! Ah! Oh my God. Okay, hold on.
I want you out of here, pendejo.
Sam wakes up again, and now he's the one renting the couch. Oh my God, everything is falling apart. One more jump, and the couch is going to be renting out space between Sam's butt cheeks. That's the progression. Somebody rents your couch, you rent somebody else's couch, a couch rents your butt cheeks for sex. That's trickle-down economics. Okay.
When I'm f***ing you can't go anywhere.
Beyond the shadow of a frickin' doubt.
Even worse, his chubby friend is missing. Another sort of bad thing is that Lonnie is now victim number 3, and another is that the play rape lady has a real restraining order against Sam. He heads to Jenna's apartment and whines about everything for a bit, and Jenna's like, well, to be clear, chubby guy was about to testify against you before he disappeared, so are we sure you don't go crazy in the future and start murdering people? But, like, testify to what? The guy being a time traveler? If I could time travel, I would beg people to testify against me in court.
He was gonna turn in evidence linking you to the murders.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't like somebody testifying against me in that scenario. But Sam's like, no, I help people. I saved your judgy non-pie ass from the fire.
We've never even talked about what happened in the fire.
This again. And she's like, you should stop time jumping. And he's like, I'll stop time jumping. Pinky promise. Later that night, the big boobied bartender is bashed, bruised, and butchered.
Like they do, like they did.
And guess who her last customer was?
Sam?
Oh, get arrested, bitch. Although, would we expect a serial killer to pay their bill right before they murder the bartender? Is that how they caught the Boston Strangler?
Everybody knows your name.
I don't know, I was drunk.
What's the point of serial killing a bartender if the drinks aren't free?
Don't be a pig.
Sorry. Anyway, the cops bad cop Sam for a bit. But oh shit, Jenna got that guy from Marks and Harrison.
The sister's here. She's got a lawyer.
So?
She's got Buswitch.
I hate those guys.
So they let him go straight to the tub.
I gotta take a pendejo.
Well, suck it back in. Sam's got to save humanity.
And I know what pendejo means.
Sam jumps to the warehouse where I guess the bartender's body was eventually burned. And yet again, Sam appears to be too late. But like, dude, you have complete control over your ability. You're not jumping back to specific gaps in your memory or to still photographs of you. You're literally choosing to jump to a specific place at a specific time. How many people need to die before you buy a watch? Could you not give yourself a little more lead time so the people you're trying to save aren't already murdered when you arrive? You know how annoying people love to say, if you're on time, you're late? Well, in this one specific instance, they sort of have a point. He's like jumping back to the night of Rebecca's murder and she's already murdered. He's like, oh, damn it. I literally could go back to any moment at any time. I could have given myself an hour. Even with your parents burning up in the fire when you were a kid, you could have just shown up before the fire and stopped it from ever happening, or brought everybody outside 15 minutes before the fire even started. You already saved the fake rape woman and your head didn't explode. Why not save all the other people in your life? Why do you suck so much ass at this?
Don't be a pig.
The stupidest part of this is that they didn't have to say the guy has perfect control of time travel. Literally one line of dialogue like, I'm still having trouble with my aim, would have fixed this. Dave says this to me all the time, and it does help me be a little less annoyed that he's always pissing on my ceiling.
I say, sir, you seem to be being...
Sorry.
Whatever, we don't technically see the body, just blood, which, to be fair, is usually inside bodies if they're alive. And actually, Sam finds nothing at all and appears to change nothing, but then poof, he wakes up and now he lives with his sister, who seems to be doing better than previously.
Wait, where are you going?
Work?
Like, what did he change exactly? He like walked into an empty warehouse, touched nothing, and then wakes up and the time has changed. I'm like, what was going on in that warehouse? Did he step on a butterfly? I'm a beautiful butterfly! Unclear, but now he runs back to the warehouse in the normal, like with your feet way, and is immediately arrested by cops that were waiting for him. But why? What timeline even is this at this point? The random bullshit timeline? Actually, I think that's the one that I'm currently in, so no, that can't be it.
You really had this all mapped out.
Sam, for his part, is like, hey, did I kill that play rape girl?
Did Did he kill Anita Barnes?
The cop is like, I don't think so, but maybe we should circle back to that in a second. And I don't understand what difference it'd make even if he did murder her. Sam didn't know her before all this, so really he needs to find a way to connect every serial killing, not just figure out if that one girl is dead, right?
Hey, look, Stick, I'm asking the questions here.
They throw him in the slammer, but he convinces a cop to let him out because he time traveled back to when he met his wife. The cop did.
The first thing she ever said to you was...
Are you MC Hammer?
Are you being racist?
So the cop is like, well, hot damn.
How did you know that?
I guess you can time travel. There's no other way to explain this. I'm gonna get you out of here on a clerical error.
Catch that son of a bitch.
That's your job.
This is why I hired a private investigator to get all the background info on all the cops in my area. It costs the smallest fortune, but it's already mostly paid for itself with all the speeding tickets I get out of by knowing the officer's childhood dog's name. They're like, you were going 50 and a 25. And I'm like, okay, is that something you would have said to Rufus? How the f do you know about Rufus? Because I can time travel, bitch. And he's like, oh my God. Then go.
But it'll only buy you a couple more hours.
Anyway, Sam runs straight to his sister's apartment.
Jenna!
But she's not opening the door because she's not there, we learned. Sam flips the hell out on the door and then on the landlady who flips the hell out on him. And I'm not understanding where all these emotions are coming from, but can everybody please shut the f up? And despite her protest, the landlady lets him inside the apartment, not her pussy. Which is where she would have preferred he go inside. But inside the apartment, Sam inexplicably finds and sniffs some flowers on a bed. And for no reason remembers that time when his chubby friend was like,
Hey, don't sniff that.
hey, sometimes I grow plants that paralyze you in lieu of a traditional home security system.
Detroit, man.
Oh shit, that is a relevant thing to have remembered. He's like, oh, flowers on a bed. Oh no! Sam paralytically crawls to a tub and fully passes out, but somehow still manages to travel back to the warehouse again, which is basically like the time travel equivalent of driving drunk. He must have hit so many multi-dimensional time traveling deer in there. But literally, what the hell timeline are we in now? They have basically completely stopped showing us where they're going. He just like says, it's butterfly time, and then is somewhere. We are completely ungrounded at this point. But apparently Sam is like, okay, I am positive that the serial killer in this timeline is my chubby friend.
Put on face me, you son of a...
Except, well, nope, he's dead. I'm so bad at solving crimes. Oh, I do not use this ability very effectively. And again, how sure are we that Sam actually solved any previous crimes? I don't know, but Sam runs to get help, but doesn't notice a freaking bear trap just sitting there in the extremely open, wide, and well-lit hallway like Jigsaw's laziest trap.
I want to play a game.
Just then, the real, I assume, serial killer walks up and twists. Sam. Oh my God, it's Jenna. That sound you may have just heard was M. Night Shyamalan orgasming so hard that he passed out in a tub, and then he traveled back in time to learn it again, and he cummed, and it's like, if you hear that, like, that's him.
What a twist.
That's right. It turns out that Jenna can time jump just like Sam.
You can jump?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a kind of clever idea, but a few notes on it. A, she apparently never tried to save their parents because they, I don't know, got her the wrong Barbie for her birthday or something. And B, she largely just uses her power to kill Sam's girlfriends.
You fell in love with that whore, Sam.
But not just the one whore girlfriend. All future whore girlfriends, like a murderous Minority Report for whore girlfriends.
They're the women I would have fallen in love with.
None of them were ladies.
Which is just...
This is so Scooby-Doo, isn't it?
Because, you know, remember that Scooby-Doo episode where Shaggy murdered all of Scooby's whore girlfriends? Classic episode.
It's funny, right?
You know, this is gonna sound controversial, but this is why you should let your sisters die in fires. Oh no, wait, sorry, this is why.
Oh, Jenna.
That's right, incest.
Oh my God.
I love you more than anything in the whole...
One of the only horrible things we haven't covered yet. Sam passes out and jumps straight to the... He passes out from the incest. Whoa! This is making me sleepy.
No.
It's okay.
No.
Anyway, Sam passes out and jumps straight to the fire despite having no tub or ice or darkness or chubby guy, and despite the fact that we've been told this will totally explode his brain. But whatever, it works, and he heroically kills his child sister.
I'll always love you.
Sam, what are you doing?
and saves his parents.
Where's Jenna, Sam?
Hopefully his mom isn't too grateful, because this family got a history of the incest. And again, we could theoretically try a version of this where Sam saves her and his parents, and maybe she won't want to have sex with her brother in the future. But then again, I mean, Sam's a real cutie, and he's putting the pump in that pumpkin ass, so she really had no hope. With her, it was always either incest or death, which isn't that like your family crest, Dave? I realize that she wants to incest so hard that she murders all of his girlfriends, so that's bad. There's a good argument to be made that if you save your parents, that'll give her a whole different trajectory in life. So just save them both. Watch her. If she keeps walking up to all your whore girlfriends with a knife and staring at them like this, then you know, okay, it's gone too far. Then you strangle her to death.
Or just, like, remove yourself from the situation. Move to Green Bay.
Poof.
Good morning, dork face.
Now he's in a car, and he has a daughter named
Jenna?
What, Daddy?
and he's married to Rebecca's sister.
Come on.
Close enough. I guess Rebecca's still a total whore in this timeline, so it makes sense for him to go for the sister. I mean, yes, Rebecca is still at this random family barbecue. Hey! But that doesn't mean she's not a whore. So anyway, everything seems great until Jenna, oh no, she randomly barbecues her doll, completely ruining all the meat. What an idiot. Better jump back again and try for a better daughter, and hey, next time, maybe don't name her after a murderous, incestuous maniac. Maybe they'll do that in the next movie. Although I'm kind of hoping that somebody's gonna strangle it with its own umbilical cord before that ever happens. Oh man. All right, okay, this is gonna be my last try. I think all I have to do is squint really hard and just like think about a time before I pooped my pants. Oh, at least I didn't. Hey Siri, show me poop photo.
Oh, I got poop photo.
It got a poop photo? Here's what Siri did for me. What has your Siri done for you?